the valedictory ceremony. We request all the delegates to please be seated and occupy the front seats, please. They have to come. Yes, sir. Okay. May I start, sir? May I start? Okay. A very good afternoon to the distinguished guests, honorable justices, esteemed scholars, legal luminaries, and dear participants from across India and around the world. Welcome back for the valedictory ceremony of the Galter Mega Global Summit ATLEG 2026. I also warmly welcome all our online participants joining us from and across the world. Over the past 3 remarkable days, we have witnessed rich deliberations on advanced technologies, law, ethics, and governance. We have thought, debated, challenged, and collaborated. The journey has been extraordinary. Before I request the dignitaries to come on the dais, I request if we can have a floral vandana to Ma Saraswati and then come on dais. Thank you very much. Before we begin the session, I would like to um, ask Mr. Bandari sir to welcome and facilitate our distinguished guests on the dais today. We are deeply honored to have with us Honorable Justice Dinesh Maheshwari sir, former Judge of the Supreme Court of India. I request Bandari sir to felicitate Dinesh sir. Yes, sir. I will. Chairperson, Law Commission of India. Thank you, sir. Our next guest is Honorable Justice Surupalli Nanda, Judge Telangana High Court. I request Professor Dr. Srijit to facilitate Honorable Justice. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. We also have with us as the guest of honor, Ms. Vijaya Bharati Saini, Member, National Human Rights Commission of India. I kindly request Advocate A.K. Bansali to facilitate our esteemed guest.
किड्स के लिए आप नाम बोल दो अलग अलग इनका बोल दो जोगीराम शर्मा अशोक सोनी है ना हाँ जोगीराम शर्मा अशोक सोनी एंड तबरेज अहमद 4 किट है ना 3 बोल दीजिए मैं बोलूँ
After Josina, I will do it.
हाँ yes and after that book presentation
You can do it.
and I'll speak a few words.
Yes, sir. Thank you. We next have our distinguished keynote speaker, Dr. Josina Rodriguez. I request Dr. T.V. Rajesh to facilitate her.
You can call anybody from BAS for KIT.
Okay.
Anybody, you can see the face and you do it.
Yes.
After that, my book, for which I will speak 2 minutes, only to Justice Maheshwari. Book only to Justice Maheshwari, right? You can ask Vipin also. Vipin.
Yeah. Yes. Okay.
Vipin, Ashok Soni, Vipin, and Professor.
Jogiram Sharma. Jogiram Sharma.
Yeah, these three, and
Gurudat.
Gurudat.
Thank you so much. We also have a very special souvenir that all of us have also received from Jindal Global Law School. I would request Professor Jogiram Sharma sir to give the kit to our chief guest, Honorable Justice Dinesh Maheshwari sir. I request Professor Gurudat sir to kindly give the kit to Honorable Justice Nanda madam. Next. I request Senior Advocate Ashok Soni sir to kindly give the kit to our guest of honor, Ms. Vijaya Bharati Saini. Okay. You got it already. Thank you very much, delegates, for doing that. I now kindly request Professor M.K. Bhandari sir to present his book to Honorable Justice Dinesh Maheshwari sir, Chairman, Law Commission of India. I request Sir to say a few words about it, please.
Good morning, good afternoon to all. Respected Honorable Justice Dinesh Maheshwari ji, Honorable Justice Surapali Nanda, Honorable Chairperson, Member Human Rights Commission, Vijaya Sayani Madam, and my dear friend Joshina, and all distinguished participants. I am deeply honored and feel privileged to present this book, which was released yesterday, to Honorable Justice Dinesh Maheshwari ji. I wish I could present all of you, sir and madam, but as I told yesterday, I received only 4 copies, especially for this occasion. So one I reserved for Justice Maheshwari ji. Even I don't have copy now, unless I receive it again. The interesting thing is, if there are 2 persons who have read this book, one is myself, because I wrote it, and another is Honorable Justice Dinesh Maheshwari ji. Why? Because he has written a very illuminating, comprehensive foreword. Though there are close to 20 praise comments which are on the front page of the book just after, which all of you are there, and many international top-notch people have sent their comments. But the detailed foreword has been written by Honorable Sir. So we 2 people have read it so far. And I hope all of you will read it. I am greatly thankful to Honorable Justice Dinesh Maheshwari ji. Despite his busy schedule, he promised me that I will write forward for this book, but I will take some time because your book is a 700-page book, and without reading and going through the book, I don't write. I said, sir, no problem, but my only limitation is that I want to get this book released in this mega summit. So then he said, okay, when do you want? I said, sir, latest by 31st. He said, by 2nd I will give you. Unfortunately, meanwhile, he got his thumb, right hand thumb, injured, deeply injured. So he could not sign, because his right hand, so he could not sign the foreword. So then he said, you can take the signature from the message which I have sent in souvenir. But later he could manage to get the sign after pain was little less, and he sent. That is the commitment and deep academic obligation I owe to him. Regarding book, I have already mentioned you, and I will not take much time. So my grateful thanks to you, sir, for favoring with the foreword, and not only a normal foreword. You will see when the book comes to you, a very detailed foreword, and that too on emergency and priority basis. So that emergency and priority was created by me only, but he obliged me to send it by time, and the book could be added into the book, and now it is there. Thank you very much. Sir, thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. I'll have to invite you again. So it is now my honor to invite the visionary behind GALTO, the architect and the architect of this magnificent summit, Professor Dr. M.K. Bandari, for the welcome address and presentation of the summit report.
Priyanka, don't make it a one-man show. Otherwise, people will say, "ये क्या बात है? बार-बार आ रहे हैं, बार-बार बोल रहे हैं." Anyway, but it is my duty to welcome our honorable guest, and also to submit in brief the report of the all 3 days different sessions, right from 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Last session we have concluded around 11:30. So, first of all, I welcome Honorable Justice Dinesh Maheshwari ji as the chief guest of the valedictory session. I welcome Honorable Justice Surapali Nanda Madam Judge Telangana High Court, whom I met just 3-4 days back, and she was engaged with the visit of Honorable Chief Justice of India, who is here in the town for Telangana High Court function. But she said, don't worry. She said, don't worry, I will attend his lordship function, but I will skip the lunch and I'll come. And she has fulfilled her promise. She came here, so she joined us for lunch. I am really thankful to you, madam. I am thankful to Honorable Member Vijaya Bharati Sayani, Member NHRC, for accepting my request and invitation. You are coming from Tirumala, but she said, don't worry, I'll be reaching in time, and she is with us. Thank you very much, madam. I'm really thankful to you. And of course, to our friend Joshina, who is here with us for last 3 days, and she has been sharing her expertise with us. She will be delivering keynote for this session. So I am really thankful to all of you, and I am really thankful to all of you, our dear delegates, distinguished friends, international experts who are with us for 3 days. I think most of you have witnessed the sessions for the sake of our honorable members and for submitting a brief overview. I am quickly reading out, presenting this report with the permission of the chair. Overview. I'll take 5 minutes, please give me. The Galter Mega Global Summit ATLEG-2026, Advanced Technologies, Law, Ethics and Governance, was a prestigious 3 days international summit held from 3rd to 5th April 2026 at Hotel Tourism Plaza, Begumpet, Hyderabad, India. Conducted in hybrid mode, the summit brought together legal scholars, judges, technology experts, policy makers, academicians, research scholars from across India and multiple countries from the world, including Germany, France, USA, Ireland, Portugal, Spain, Australia, Nigeria, Switzerland, and Canada. There were about 100 paper presenters and more than 200 participants, equally online and offline. Summit structure. The summit was structured across 3 days with multiple concurrent and plenary sessions, including the inaugural ceremony and now the valedictory ceremony. Prestigious National Award for Excellence in Law in the memory of the Professor S.R. Bansali was also given in inaugural session. Now, quickly, the day-wise summary. Day 1, Friday, 3rd April 2026. The first day commenced with delegate registration, followed by 4 concurrent technical sessions held in 2 halls. Technical session 1, chaired by Georg Molt from Germany. This session focused on AI regulations, human responsibility, data privacy, cyber security law, and gender rights in the digital era. Speakers included international contributors from France online, along with Indian researchers. The technical session 2, chaired by Professor Firdaus Wani. This session covered AI in mediation, comparative regulatory framework, cyber crimes, investigation challenges, driverless technology, WIMO, judicial reforms, and deep tech sovereignty. The technical session 3 featured keynote addresses by Martha Bokenfield, a global leader from Switzerland, via online, on GDP to well-being through AI, and Georg Molt on rethinking AI autonomy. Topics were included vicarious liability, legal education, AI inventorship, and decentralized finance. Technical session 4, chaired by Advocate D.R. Sivakumar. This session addressed GDPR, General Data Protection Regulation, and DPDP, Digital Personal Data Protection Act of India. Comparison, AI-based invention licensing, evidence, jurisprudence, digital divide in Africa and India, AI in maintenance, enforcement, and digital economy taxation. Day 2, Saturday, 4th April. The second day was the most ceremonially significant, featured the inaugural ceremony, the Professor S.R. Bansali National Award Ceremony, and the Best Galterian Award Ceremony. Inaugural session from 9:30 to 12:30 along with the award ceremony. The ceremony was presided over by Honorable Justice M.R. Shah. The chief guest was Honorable Justice Sandeep Mehta, Judge Supreme Court of India. Keynote address was given by Tony Moroni. He is present here. Online guests of honor included Justice A.K. Sikri sir, Judge Supreme Court, former Judge Supreme Court of India, Honorable Professor Upendra Bakshi, the teacher of teachers. The chief guest was Honorable Justice Sandeep Mehta, who formally declared the summit open. The ceremony included the release of ATLEG souvenir and book authored by M.K. Bhandari. Professor S.R. Bansali National Award for Excellence in Law. The award ceremony honored the Professor G.S. Bajpai, Vice Chancellor, and Professor C. Rajkumar of Jindal Global University as award winners. The Best Galterian Award conferred on Priyanka and Pushpendra Dikshit, CA LLM, and they are Galterian Award. Plenary session number 5, chaired by Dr. Joshina, with co-chair Dr. Sindhu Bhaskar from USA, he is here, and Professor Georg Molt, addressed theme of AI ethics and governance, research in AI era, DPDP Act compliances, community building for cyber security, and humanity navigation through AI revolution. Panel session number 6, which was done here only. The moderator was myself, M.K. Bhandari, and Manish Bhandari from Vellum Capitals, Bombay, with panelists including IFS A.R. Ghanshyam sir, Professor Dr. Nishtha Jaswal madam, Dieter Brockmeyer online, and Dr. Joshina. We discussed host of issues about ethical dimensions and regulatory aspect of the doing business with AI and other technology support. Technical session number 7, explored ethical governance of AI in finance regulation, disaster management framework, IPR re-imaging, cybercrime remedies, and cloud computing challenges. Session 8 covered digital sovereignty, fintech governance, human rights in the digital age, business ethics through technology, and court burden mitigation. Day 3, today we had 2 concurrent sessions. The final day featured morning technical session and open presentation session, and culminated into the valedictory session. The open session and the first technical session, they were merged because there were large number of participants who were keen at the 11th hour to make submission. So the purpose of open session was the same, so we merged it. Technical session 9 and 10. Section 9 covered quantum supremacy, digital privacy, AI governance transparency, IPR registry delays, tokenized assets, and governance, data protection challenges, cybersecurity laws in India. Session addressed also AI challenges in separation of power, AI in e-commerce, data protection, coercive coherence in law, child protection in AI-mediated system, and jurisprudential challenges posed by AI before the courts. The valedictory session now we are conducting it, so we will add the proceedings of this session later. This is a brief report. We will prepare a detailed report, and after consultation with our stakeholders, and we will submit it to all the relevant agencies and authorities in India, and also the international organizations like UN registry or other institutions, and also share with all of you the soft copy for your kind perusal. So once again, thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. We are now privileged to hear from a distinguished jurist joining us online, Honorable Justice Mohan Pierce, former Chief Justice of Sri Lanka, former permanent representative of Sri Lanka to the United Nations. We are truly honored to have him online. He has not joined. No? He's not there? Okay. I apologize. I regret the inconvenience. Sir has not joined us online. I'm sure he will give us a message later. Moving on, I would now, we are now again privileged to hear from our esteemed guest of honor, Ms. Vijaya Bharati Saini, who is a member of National Human Rights Commission of India. She has been the Central Government Additional Standing Counsel in Telangana High Court. Her dedicated service to the cause of human rights and justice makes her presence in this summit truly befitting. I request Ms. Vijaya Bharati ma'am to address the gathering.
Namaste. Respected dignitaries on dais, esteemed colleagues, representatives from government, industry and civil society, and the young minds present here today, Namaskar and very good afternoon. It is a privilege to address you on a subject that it is no longer confined to laboratories or policy discussions, but one that shapes our everyday lives in quite at profound ways. Today, as we stand at the intersection of technology, law, and ethics, we are called upon to reflect not only on what innovation can achieve, but also on what it must safeguard. We interact with artificial intelligence and data-driven systems daily, perhaps without even realizing it. Day by day, technology has been growing entwined with the systems that control opportunity and access, from using biometric verification to unlock our devices to obtaining algorithmically assembled content on social media, from receiving social services to being assessed for credit or unemployment. These systems are intended to increase effectiveness, maximize results, and broaden their scope. However, there is a crucial query that should be addressed. Are these systems always just, open, and consistent with human dignity? Technology undoubtedly has immense potential to advance human welfare. It has enabled greater access to public services, improved administrative efficiency, and bridged distance that once limited opportunity. However, as technological systems become more autonomous and data intensive, they also carry the risk of reinforcing existing inequalities and creating new forms of exclusion. One of the most pressing concerns in this regard is algorithmic bias and discrimination. Artificial intelligence systems are no longer working on a fair basis and are rather trained on historical data that reflects entrenched social inequalities, such as caste, gender, religion, or economic status. Resultantly, the outcomes generated may reproduce and amplify such existing disparities. In India, this conflicts with constitutional safeguards under Article 14, equality before the law, and Article 15, non-discrimination. For example, AI facial recognition technologies applied in law enforcement have appeared globally to be at their finest in performing badly on minority groups, raising the risk of selective targeting. There are mere practical implications of such failures. In India, there have been documented instances where individuals were denied access to essential food rations under the public distribution system because biometric authentication systems linked to Aadhaar failed to verify their identity. For instance, during fieldwork in Later, we also spoke to Gangadhar, a 45-year-old farmer who discovered that his Aadhaar number was linked to his wife's ration card without his knowledge. As a result, when he went for his eKYC verification, the fair price shop dealer turned him away, stating that his wife's name was appearing twice on the ration card. Many such cases have been reported throughout the country. Equally significant is the increasing reliance on automated decision-making systems in domains such as financial services, employment, and law enforcement. Many of these systems operate with limited transparency, often described as black box models, where the logic behind decisions is not easily explainable as they are too complex. This raises important concerns as if individuals are unable to understand or challenge decisions that affect their lives, the foundational principles of due process and the rule of law are weakened. At the same time, the rapid advancement of generative artificial intelligence presents a new set of challenges. Technologies capable of producing highly realistic synthetic media, such as deepfakes, have already been misused to spread misinformation, undermine public trust, and harm individual reputations. In a democratic society, such developments pose serious risks not only to personal dignity, but also to the integrity of public discourse and electoral processes. Underlying all these concerns is the central issue of data governance and privacy. Personal data today is a critical resource that drives innovation, yet it is intrinsically linked to individual identity and autonomy. The landmark judgment of the Supreme Court in Justice K.S. Puttaswamy versus Union of India in 2017 affirmed that the right to privacy is a fundamental right under Article 21 of the Constitution. The Honorable Supreme Court, in another judgment, categorically stated that as citizens have very little power over artificial intelligence, it not only violates the right to privacy under Article 21, but also human dignity. In furtherance of this, India enacted the Digital Personal Data Protection Act 2023, establishing a framework based on consent, accountability, and the obligations of data fiduciaries. While this represents a significant legislative step, ongoing legal and academic analysis have pointed to challenges in its implementation, particularly with respect to algorithmic obscurity, discriminatory judgments, or automatic profiling. It is in this context that ethical considerations assume critical importance. Increasingly, there is recognition of the need for responsible AI, artificial intelligence, and ethics by design, which call for embedding principles such as fairness, transparency, and accountability into the very architecture of technological systems. Complementing this is the emerging discourse on digital constitutionalism, which advocates for the extension of constitutional values, including equality, liberty, and dignity into digital and algorithmic spaces. Considering these complexities, the path forward lies in adopting a human rights-based approach to technological governance. This requires the system be designed and implemented with a clear focus on the individual, ensuring transparency, explainability, and accountability. It calls for the integration of human rights impact assessments, particularly in high-risk domains, and for collaborative engagement among governments, industry, academia, and civil society. In February 2025, the Commission convened an open house discussion on ensuring privacy and human rights in the digital era, where concerns were raised about declining digital ethics, lack of user awareness, and the need for stronger accountability frameworks for data breaches. Recently, NHRC has also organized an open house discussion on access to social media by children to discuss the benefits, risks, ban versus regulations, and the need for a clear definition of social media and evidence-based decisions. Ultimately, the question before us is not merely what technology can achieve, but how it ought to be shaped to serve the broader goals of justice and inclusion. Technology will continue to evolve, but the values that guide it must remain anchored in our constitutional principles. If we align innovation with ethics and efficiency with equity, we can ensure that technological progress becomes a force for empowerment rather than exclusion. Therefore, we should commit ourselves to building a future where technology strengthens human dignity, expands opportunity, and upholds the rights of every individual. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramaya, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschit dukkha bhag bhavet. Thank you. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Thank you, ma'am. Your insights on technology in public service systems and throwing light on the newer form of exclusion, which may lead to newer social inequality, and the importance to understand these through the constitutional lens has truly added to our knowledge base. Thank you. I now have the honor of inviting our distinguished dignitary for the presidential address, Honorable Justice Surupalli Nanda, Judge, Telangana High Court. She is also a member of Commonwealth Magistrates and Judges Association, London, and also a member of International Association of Women Judges, Washington, USA. I now request the Honorable Justice to address the gathering.
Distinguished dignitaries on the dais, Honorable Chairman, Law Commission of India, Honorable Justice Dinesh Maheshwari ji, respected Professor M.K. Bandhari garu, Honorable Justice Mohan garu, Mrs. Vijaya Bharati garu, Dr. Josina garu, Dr. Aparijita Bhatt garu, Gansham garu, all the distinguished dignitaries of the dais, respected delegates, distinguished friends, international experts, respected principal of MSS Law College, the respected faculty of MSS Law College, print, press, media, one and all. I'm happy to be part of this momentous occasion of this global summit on the topic Advanced Technologies, Law, Ethics and Governance, conducted by the esteemed Galter. There is a need to face up to the gaps and redouble efforts in order to comprehensively advance technological innovation, industrial development, and application empowerment in artificial intelligence, to improve regulatory systems and mechanisms and firmly maintain the initiative in artificial intelligence development and governance. It is both an honor and a profound responsibility to address this august gathering on the theme of advanced technologies, ethics, law, and governance. We stand today at the intersection of unprecedented technological innovation and enduring legal principles. Technologies such as artificial intelligence, big data analytics, blockchain, and biotechnology are not merely tools. They are reshaping the very fabric of human interaction, governance, and justice. Yet, as history has shown, progress without ethical grounding risks undermining the very rights and freedoms it seeks to enhance. The transformative power of advanced technology can be understood in understanding that artificial intelligence systems now influence decisions in healthcare, criminal justice, finance, and governance. Algorithms can predict behavior, automate decision making, and even simulate human reasoning. However, these advancements raise critical concerns. Bias and discrimination in algorithmic decisions, lack of transparency, that is, black box problem, data privacy, and surveillance risks. The judiciary must therefore evolve not reactively but proactively to ensure that technological advancements aligns with constitutional values and human dignity. Ethical foundations in a digital age would mean that ethics must serve as the guiding compass for technological governance. Principles such as accountability, transparency, fairness, and human autonomy, all this must be embedded into the design and deployment of technologies. A key judicial concern is whether machines can or should make decisions affecting fundamental rights. The answer lies not in rejecting innovation, but in ensuring human oversight and ethical safeguards. The legal challenges and judicial responses would mean that courts across jurisdictions have begun addressing these challenges through landmark rulings. In Justice K.S. Puttaswamy versus Union of India, the Supreme Court of India recognized the right to privacy as a fundamental right, laying the foundation for data protection and digital autonomy. The European Court of Justice in Google Spain SL versus Ajinka Espanola de Protection de Datos established the right to be forgotten, empowering individuals to control their digital identity. In the United States, Carpenter versus United States marked a significant step in protecting location data, holding that access to such data requires a warrant. The case of Loomis versus Wisconsin highlighted the risks of relying on proprietary algorithms in criminal sentencing, raising concerns about transparency and due process. These cases collectively demonstrate that constitutional principles remain resilient even as their application evolves in response to technological change. Governance and regulatory frameworks would mean that effective governance requires a multi-stakeholder approach involving governments, judiciary, private sector, civil society, and international organizations. The key regulatory priorities include data protection laws, all accountability frameworks, cross-border data governance, cybersecurity standards. Global cooperation is essential. Technology transcends borders, and so must our legal and ethical frameworks. The role of the judiciary is very, very pivotal here. One, it interprets laws in light of technological realities. Two, it protects fundamental rights. Three, it ensures checks and balances. Judges must develop technological literacy while maintaining fidelity to legal principles. Courts must also encourage transparency in algorithmic systems and uphold procedural fairness. As we navigate this era of rapid transformation, we must remember that technology is means and not an end. The true measure of progress lies not in innovation alone, but in its alignment with justice, equity, and human dignity. The law must not lag behind technology, nor should it stifle innovation. Instead, it must serve as a bridge balancing progress with protection, efficiency with ethics, and power with accountability. To gain a head start and secure a competitive edge in artificial intelligence, it is a must to achieve breakthroughs in basic theories, methodologies, and tools. There must be concentrated efforts on basic research, integrated endeavors for breakthroughs in core technologies such as IA chips and basic softwares, as well as building a basic artificial intelligence software and hardware system that is autonomous, controllable, and functioning collaboratively. By leveraging artificial intelligence to drive the transformation of scientific research paradigms, we can speed up achieving breakthroughs in scientific and technological innovation in all sectors. There is need to promote the deep integration of artificial intelligence, scientific and technological innovation with industrial innovation, build an enterprise-led synergistic innovation ecosystem that incorporates industries, universities, research institutes, and end users, facilitate the transformation and upgrading of traditional industries, and open up new arenas in developing strategic emerging industries and future-oriented industries. There must be coordinated efforts to advance the construction of computing power infrastructure and promote the development, utilization, and open sharing of data resources. While artificial intelligence presents unprecedented development opportunities, it also brings risks and challenges not seen before. There must be efforts to grasp the tenets and regulatory of artificial intelligence development, accelerate formulation and improvement of laws and regulations, policies and systems, application norms and ethical guidelines, and establish systems for technical monitoring, early risk warning, and emergency response in a bid to guarantee its safety, reliability, and controllability. I call on the central and the state governments to engage all parties, including all stakeholders, for further alignment and coordination of development strategies, governance, rules, as well as technical standards, and work toward an early formation of a consensus-based framework and standards for global governance. The international community needs to deepen exchanges and practical cooperation to jointly advance the building of a community with a shared future in cyberspace to a new stage. There is need to respect cyber sovereignty and each country's way of internet governance, and the need to oppose seeking hegemony, block confrontation, and arms race in cyberspace. I would emphasize the need for building a more equal and inclusive cyberspace. There is a need to better promote the shared values of humanity. India must raise comprehensive cyber governance capabilities and create a comprehensive cyber governance structure that integrates economic, legal, and technological approaches. New areas of the digital economy, including the Internet of Things, virtual currencies, financial technology, artificial intelligence, advanced robotics, and big data are expanding rapidly. Broad application of big data, cloud computing in India have led to the emergence of a new model of business as well as new markets and industries. Artificial intelligence tools are increasingly relied upon and being used in Indian courts by lawyers. The unbridled growth of artificial intelligence tools in courtrooms has sparked a fundamental debate. Is reliance on artificial intelligence in legal practice a legitimate evolution, or does it undermine the ethical foundations of advocacy? Artificial intelligence, in essence, draws upon vast repositories of human knowledge recorded digitally across the web. Its initial entry into the legal domain came through search engines that provided case citations, tools that complemented rather than conflicted with the craft of legal reasoning. However, artificial intelligence has since evolved into systems capable of generating arguments, synthesizing authorities, and even mimicking legal reasoning. In doing so, it has also exposed a critical vulnerability, the tendency to fabricate information or hallucinate. This risk is no longer hypothetical. In India, the Supreme Court itself witnessed an instance where a lawyer cited a non-existent case, Mercy versus Mankind, prompting a Supreme Court judge to highlight the dangers of unverified artificial intelligence reliance. Similar instances have surfaced across high courts where pleadings contained fictitious citations and distorted legal propositions. In an earlier case, the Supreme Court had exposed a lawyer from Andhra Pradesh High Court who had relied on artificial intelligence tools and cited fake cases, obtaining an order in favor of his client. The Supreme Court of India has described artificial intelligence generated hallucinations as an issue of institutional concern, even indicating that reliance on fabricated citations may amount to professional misconduct. Indian courts have also begun dealing with artificial intelligence related harms beyond legal research. These developments mirror a global pattern. In the United States, the case of Mata versus Avianca marked a turning point where lawyers were sanctioned for submitting briefs containing fictitious artificial intelligence generated citations. It resulted in exemplary fines on the erring attorney, and the story was featured on the front page of New York Times. Artificial intelligence, therefore, should neither be uncritically embraced nor reflexively demonized. It must be treated as a powerful but imperfect assistant, one that enhances human capability while remaining subject to human judgment. The message from courts in India and across the world is unequivocal. Technology may evolve, but responsibility does not. Artificial intelligence can assist, accelerate, and even impress, but it cannot be trusted blindly. The burden of accuracy, integrity, and accountability will always rest with the lawyer. The future of law will not be decided by how advanced our tools become, but by how disciplined we remain in using them. In the end, the courtroom will not judge the machine, it will judge the mind that chose to rely on it. Let us collectively strive to build a future where advanced technologies are governed not only by intelligence but by wisdom, not only by capability but by conscience. I thank the organizers for providing me this opportunity. I thank Bandari Garu and also the respected faculty of the MSS Law College for giving me this opportunity. I thank all the participants and the delegates and the dignitaries for the patient hearing. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, Honorable Justice Nanda ma'am, for those words on growing new technologies and the critical concerns it raises. It is now my honor to introduce our keynote speaker, Dr. Josina Rodriguez, founder of HQS Consulting, and she's also a pioneering blockchain advisor and the first scholar in Portugal to defend a doctoral thesis on blockchain. Dr. Josina Rodriguez, I warmly invite you to address the gathering. Over to you.
Namaste. Honorable Justice Dinesh, Honorable Justice Nanda, Honorable Justice Mohan Pires, that is not online, but Maman Vijaya, distinguished guests, and esteemed participants join us online. I know that everybody is very tired and fulfilled of knowledge after 3 days of summit. So it's not a technical speech. I will try just to keep in touch with all the alignments with different subjects in the last hours with fantastic speakers. So it's a true honor to be in India. It's my first time here. And it was a surprise, a beautiful surprise. It's a country that shaped not only history, but the moral imagination of all the world. We gathered at a moment of a profound transformation, not because technology is advancing and not because power is being redefined, but it's the first time in history that decisions affecting lives is not made by humans. Yes, systems, they are tweaking the power. And this work that I prepared to share with you, transparent yet unprovable, the next frontier of AI governance, rethinking governance, and we are here dealing with justice, with law, with new frameworks. How can you organize our society, and how can we inspire new generations? And what I want to share with you, it is one quote of Mahatma Gandhi: "Through never damage a cause that is just." But today we face a new challenge. In the age of artificial intelligence, truth is no longer something that we simply believe in it. It's something that we must able to verify. I will change the micro like this. I can move it.
I know you are dynamic.
No, because after lunch and after 3 days, we need just a little bit of energy. So it will be very easy what I want to share with you, and I believe that's open. Yes. Okay. Thank you very much. Perfect. Okay. Thank you. Today I would like to share the paradox that we have. That is, if there is one place we have transparency, because our systems can give us a lot of answers. We create, is it working? Yes, okay. So we ask ChatGPT a lot of questions, and you have a lot of answers. But we need to know that our main challenge it is, how do we balance transparency requirements with regulatory accountability in AI systems? Translating. How can I verify? How can I be sure that my company, that a process that I'm judging, that something that I'm analyzing, it's right what ChatGPT or Claude or any kind of AI agent giving us as an answer. And what I try to share with you is we have 2 dimensions. One, explainability, that will answer why did the model produce this decision? Why? And the other one, it's auditability. Imagine that we have a problem. I know that we have someone representing Bank of America here. So imagine that we have a problem and you froze an account, a bank account, because AI detected that this client had a problem before, and we froze the account. We need to verify why. You have explainability that AI decided we have indications that is the best solution, but we cannot have auditability. So the second question is, what is the decision produced under controlled conditions? So we are talking about governance. We are talking about institutional accountability. And we are in an environment of law and justice. So why this subject matters today? We have 3 different forces. We have a very rapid adoption of AI from our sons, daughters in our house, talking about universities, talking about our colleagues and fellows, everybody, every single mobile phone in this room today was accessed many times to ask about Professor Bandari, about the summit, about everything. We don't have Google, but Google has Copilot. So it's not a rapid one, but an increasing regulatory scrutiny. And you are here dealing with law, creating different boundaries. How can we accept what we can accept? And high-impact decisions in environments. Every single day, we cannot imagine the number of billions informations is cross-section every single decision that we are doing. And for example, healthcare use case. And I choose this because we are human beings, and the limitation of our power, it's our health. Can we imagine that we are going to a doctor and every single analysis from our exams and our diagnosis can be with AI help. So let's see. First step, the patient needs a CT scan. The second, AI model analysis. And the third, risk classification. The system will classify if you have a problem in your lungs, if you have cancer, if you have tuberculosis. And the last one, you have the clinical decision support. Can you imagine if you have a wrong diagnosis? Can you imagine what kind of impact that it can have in our lives? How can we verify? Who will be responsible? Who is coding? The systems, the hospital, or the doctor? How can you verify responsibility? How can you not only the charge of responsibility, but how can we identify the process of the decision? So, a couple of problems that we need to understand, it is answers. Which model version produced the output? Was the model validated? This is more for auditing systems. So what is this kind of questions we need to answer? But the problem is not only the answer. The problem is created this kind of trust stack. We have different layers until the end. So the first one, AI decisions. For example, clinical outcome. We are going there because we have a problem with our breath, and we need to check our lungs. The second one, explainability layer. We need to have a model inside our companies, our structures that needs to is well structured to answer. The third one is governance layer. The fourth one is auditability. And the last one is verification layer. And why this is important? Because without this, we cannot be sure if the decisions of the hospital is correct or not. And now I introduce blockchain. Everybody knows that my subject is blockchain. Blockchain can verify if the information is correct or is in alignment. So it's the only way that we have, beside AI, if the information is immutable, transparent, and traceable. We have, in this, it will be the last one, technical one, and after I will just share with you just a couple of use cases. So governance approvals, we have dataset fingerprint and validation certification. Everybody knows that blockchain is a research for, and you can verify in the book of Professor Bandari, talking about blockchain. That's a very good way to verify an information. I'm proud that trying to find, I'm going down, trying to find, like this I can wake up here. I will try to find a couple of use cases, interesting ones in healthcare about what is happening. And I found in India 3 interesting cases. And it's Cure AI, Path, and Unit 8. They are doing great and amazing things. And you can verify, just Google it, and you can be proud because India is doing a great job. How can AI transforming healthcare with a very responsible way? So what is my main conclusion about this very small speech? It is, we need from an explainable AI to a verifiable AI, we need to create 3 different pillars. The first one is explainable decisions, the second one is governance systems, and the third one, verifiable evidence. Without this, we cannot be sure that in the age of AI, trust. The only word that can resume all my talk today is trust. trust is not only in justice, in law. Every single day that we wake up and we are going to work, we need to be sure that we are doing our best. How can we do our best without trust? Can you imagine that we are turning on our car and we trust in our GPS, we trust in our Google Maps, we trust in our mobile phone when you Google something. So trust, this is the main reason for AI systems giving information. So in the age of AI, trust will depend not only of explanations, because you have a lot of explanations, but on systems that can prove their integrity. So my last word will be trust. We need to verify all the time, not only injustice, but every single day with questions we have to analyze the answers, and integrity. AI age is the age of integrity. Thank you very much for the opportunity to be here. It was a huge pleasure. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Dr. Rodriguez, for a truly compelling and forward-looking address on AI and healthcare. We are privileged for having received a special message from Honorable Justice Ramasubramaniam, Chairperson, National Human Rights Commission of India. I will just take a minute to read out the message that Honorable Justice has shared with us. I will be reading it as is, and I here refers to Honorable Justice. It gives me great pleasure to learn that Mega Global Summit ATLEG-2026 is being organized on the timely and significant theme, Law and Advanced Technologies, Policies, Ethics and Governance. In this evolving technological landscape, it is essential that innovation remains guided by the core principles of human dignity, transparency, fairness, and respect for human rights. Legal and regulatory frameworks must evolve alongside technological progress to ensure that emerging technologies are developed and deployed in a manner that strengthens democratic institutions and advances the welfare of society. The National Human Rights Commission of India recognizes both the transformative potential of advanced technologies and the importance of ensuring that their use remains consistent with constitutional values and human rights standards. It is imperative that technological progress does not outpace the ethical and legal safeguards necessary to protect individuals and communities, particularly those who may already face social and economic vulnerabilities. Platforms such as ATLEG-2026 provide a valuable opportunity for meaningful global engagement on these critical issues. I am confident that the deliberations during this summit will contribute to the development of balanced, ethical, and forward-looking approaches to technology governance. I extend my best wishes to the organizers and participants for the success of this important initiative. This is a message that we received from Honorable Justice Subramaniam. So we are honored to having received this message. Thank you, Justice. We are now deeply privileged and honored to have our chief guest today, Honorable Justice Dinesh Maheshwari, sir, Chairperson, Law Commission of India, former Judge of Supreme Court of India, former Chief Justice of Karnataka High Court, and also former Chief Justice of High Court of Meghalaya. Thank you for gracing the occasion, sir. I kindly request you to address the gathering.
Thank you, madam. No wonder that you were chosen for Best Galterians Award. The control you had over all the proceedings is remarkable. Thank you so very much. A very good afternoon to everybody. The learned dignitaries on the dais, off the dais, my Sister Justice Nanda, Madam Vijaya Bharti ji, Professor Rodriguez, Professor Joshina Rodriguez, and of course my guru, my teacher, Professor Bandari, the learned dignitaries of the dais particularly, again my teachers, my friends, my colleagues, the learned members of the bar and also academia. It was rightly indicated by Dr. Joshina before commencing her that dynamic presentation, energizing speech, that keynote address, that you all had 3 days of full brainstorming and nearly exhausted, you might be feeling like. And but looking at her energy and the dynamics, I was wondering that if it was after 3 days, after fatigue factor, then what was the original energy level? Huh? Wonderful. We all were benefited. But when I was just wondering that this is the concluding part of this thoughtfully organized 3 days conference, and I'm supposed to be the last speaker. So it's something like when everybody is ready to pack up and to go, and you had enough of the traveling, how much of interest would be left. But then, firstly, Dr. Joshina has made my task a little easy. Otherwise, I was wondering, because we human beings, as we would be, I would seek your permission to say a few things, a few comments about man and machines interactions, particularly the topics we all are discussing. But some of the hallmarks of human beings and the human brains particularly is about innovating and always finding new ways out of box, as we say. We do talk about, in the context of AI, black box syndromes, but then we all as human beings are known for out of box thinking. So out of box thinking, one of the out of box thinking I just came across a couple of weeks back on my travel to my hometown Jodhpur. Me and Professor Bandari come from the same town, Jodhpur, in the state of Rajasthan in India. So I was about to, our flight was about to land at Jodhpur. So flight has taken a little extra time. Then normally it takes about 50 minutes or an hour from Delhi to Jodhpur. So normally when the flight is about to land, as with this journey is about to terminate, we do get some such kind of announcements from the cockpit coming from the captain that we are flying at so and so altitude and doing fine, and this is the weather outside, inside, etc., etc. And the last line is that, well, cabin crew, prepare the cabin for landing. Right. So similar kind of announcement came while our flight was about to land at Jodhpur. But the learned captain, apart from altitude and temperature outside, etc., added this. Ladies and gentlemen, you would be landing now at Jodhpur, the famous blue city known for dal bati churma and gulab jamun and a lot of other good dishes. So be prepared for mouth-watering dishes. So suddenly, well, the whole of, the fatigue factor of the journey was gone. So thank you, Dr. Joshina. So this presenting your keynote address in a manner giving a befitting finale to this very significant conference, I would say, organized here. It's nice to find not only the learned dignitaries from all over the different parts of the country here, but from all over the globe here, and particularly to dignitaries from across the borders. I wish to share as to how, in the global perspective, as at present, we are looking at these rapid technological advancements, as to how we are looking at it from within India, with reference to Indian perspectives, as also global perspectives. And particularly when it comes to the question of governance, as to how we are responding to those requirements of governance one way or the other. And what are the potentials, what we can do. Professor Bhandari's this book, I had an occasion to, I would confess, glance through it. Not that I read it too deep or minute, but it's one of the wonderful additions of steering our thoughts towards a proper framework towards better use of the machines, better use of technology, of the emerging technologies, but well within a framework where technology remains our friend and aid and ally more, rather than it well tending to govern us. In India's perspective, a few things I just want to start with. The hallmark of India is its diversity. And unity in diversity is the unique stamp of India. Universal toleration, that is another hallmark of India, that enables blending of ancient principles like Ayurveda with modern medicines, adaptation of these global culinary techniques to Indian tastes, resulting in holistic healthcare systems, as was being indicated here. And of course, talking in terms of food, fusion foods. We in India prefer fusion foods, not frozen foods. That is, yes. There are certain features which are, although peculiar to every society for that matter, and we are never at competition with any society, as Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina, as was being indicated, that's our motto. Well, welfare of all, we always look at it. Well, we try to integrate everything. We try to learn from our ancient wisdoms. We take ancient principles along and then integrate them. We remain conscious that, advancement has been always a continuing feature of the progression of the human society, human beings. And whenever advancements come up, and particularly when there are things which are not known at that particular point of time, well, a kind of fear, a kind of doubt do remain. When printing press arrived, the scholars feared that it might bring about end of wisdom. When calculators arrived, we feared it might be the end of arithmetic. It's not. We had in the yester of our years or days, when technological advancement and particularly if the algorithms advancements were coming up, one way or the other, each one of us might have has had his or her own moment of embarrassment or trouble when something called autocorrect option was provided to us in our machines, and particularly in our these laptops and mobiles, and very many times, and particularly when you are sending a message to your wife, you had to be very, very conscious about this autocorrect options. Now, definitely, pace, brisk pace, and rapid advancement is the hallmark of the present days, and particularly the manner in which AI is acquiring its space and place. We are integrating that. We have had, and we are continuing to have several of its challenges. It was, as was rightly indicated by Sister Justice Nanda, that there had been serious problems in our adjudicatory mechanisms, particularly the courtrooms, where the virtual world has gone to the extent of creating not only deep fakes, now the fake citations, and those fake citations, and it was not only one, I may inform, that was presented, and it's not that it started from the Supreme Court of India. In fact, as we try to study, we find that this all started in the first place somewhere in New York in a courtroom. It got replicated a few months later, fake citations I'm talking of, in another court in Michigan. Then it traveled, and it traveled fast. It's traveled, we all know, this generation definitely knows as to how when a thing is meant to travel fast, and it's a thing which has that all propensity and all reasons, all mechanisms to travel fast, how much faster it can travel. COVID-19, we all have 1, 2, 3 waves we all have seen. And that was, in fact, somewhere some thing which, connects with organisms and then travels. Here it is machine, proceeds on algorithms. Fake citations were submitted before Delhi High Court. The Honorable Judge was required to make certain comments. It then traveled to the Honorable Supreme Court also. But then, these are the fallouts of anything which is adjacent to, which is adjudicant, which is supposed to be an addenda to the normal progression of the human beings, human society. So that adjunct, before it gets integrated with human progression, will have its own challenges. That is how we look at the things. But by that, well, it's not that we are trying to put any blockade over or rationing over the use of any technological advancements. What we try to do is, well, try to integrate it and put, well, certain boundaries wherever needed and in whatever manner it can be done. The latest example of only yesterday is as to how we try to regulate, and we are conscious about it, is, as I read in the newspaper today only, that the Gujarat High Court has come out with a specific policy guidelines on the use of AI in the systems. It's not that it is a blanket ban over it, but yes, there are certain guardrails put, well, certain warnings put, and of course, it is indicated, and it was required to be indicated, that final decision making, well, has to be, in justice delivery system, final decision making is by the human beings. An analysis of evidence, well, looking into and analyzing the case laws cited, well, that all is to be done by judges, but then there are various supplemental, well, features of justice delivery system for which the AI could be integrated and AI could be used. A High Court has come out with, those decisions, those policy guidelines of use of the artificial intelligence. Of course, it has been indicated about citations when being presented. Well, it's needed. It is a duty of anybody who is presenting the citation to make it sure that, or to have it cross-checked. Well, authenticity has to be, well, ensured before it is presented. But we are taking steps, and I'm very sure that human beings, human race, well, as we all know from our known history, that there had been certain such developments which are of such transformational character that the whole lot of, well, the human being's progression or even existence got, well, molded or modified by that. This very conference hall where we are sitting with illuminated with these lights, well, once upon a time it was an invention. Electricity, for that matter, it had its own challenges. Our ancestors have dealt with that, integrated it. That is how we look at every advancement. A machine which has been created by us will be, well, any day, there are, doubts raised, is likely to, well, displace the human decision making and likely to rule us. Well, in India, we never look at the things from that point of view at all. We accept everything and, well, we integrate and, well, take it further. Now, so far as different theories are concerned, different possibilities are concerned, and different norms and rules of governance are concerned, well, the students of philosophy, sociology, political science, and law all, well, look at the things from different perspectives and different point of views, and sometimes to the different extremes also. like Huxley's Brave New World idea that control through pleasure, distractions, or consumerism. That's how it's indicated, that the technology presents to you so many things to get distracted. Well, feel complacent, feel relaxed, and then thereby you are overpowered. Or the other extreme of the Orwell's 1984, the idea of control through surveillance, oppression, censorship, or force. Now, the potential, as we look at anything like machines or and algorithms who are capable of making decisions, well, the things are looked at it. I mean, this is just one of the perspectives. That the things could be looked at from different perspectives, from different angles and different possibilities. But well, neither those ideas of well governance through pleasure, well, or means propagating pleasure, or governance through surveillance, well, they fit in with so far as if we can say AI's future is concerned. That of of course that distractions kind of things, they do numb our faculties, and surveillance well is strangulating, tightening the noose. But then pleasure based control or pain based control, they ultimately, well, there is the solution which is likely to emerge is well somewhere in between, somewhere of a balance of both. It is, as very many writers have placed it, if dealing with artificial intelligence, when they call it the age of adolescence age of artificial intelligence. Now that is how it is being indicated. So, and they are in a way right. But when something is in the age of adolescence, we all know they need to be given the requisite liberty also, but at the same time, well, to be placed under, well, systematic check too. And that is how, well, we look at it, at the thing in India. Well, when the person is in the adolescence age, it needs freedom and needs check both. And we look at the things from that point of view. We try to do the things in those manners. Of course, in means it would depend on well the process itself being dynamic, having the dynamics of its own. And this process is not, I'm talking not only about artificial intelligence, because we have we have around us the this age is someday likely to be called an age of consequential technologies, because not only artificial intelligence, we have well quantum computing before us, well, likely to bring about a whole lot of transformation into as to how we would be, well, looking at anything at all, everything for that matter. Synthetic biology, blockchain, of course, as it was indicated, and then emerging metaverse, the virtual becomes real. But then these are the possibilities. We look at everything as well, giving us another opportunity to grow. And well, we're not getting bothered with as to whether any such thing is likely to overpower us. They'll not. But then, yes, there are several features and aspects of which we need to, we all over the globe for that matter, need to remain conscious about and, well, need to keep on, well, updating ourselves, need to be precisely dealing with the requirement of the given day. Ladies and gentlemen, when we talk of anything, when the word precisely comes, maybe I would be deflecting a little from the main topic, but it gets integrated anyhow, that when we talk of precisely dealing with the things, well, precision, we as Indians can proudly say, precision has been hallmark of anything which, well, which had been taught to us through stories, through mythology, and through actual happenings too. Precision is and has always been the hallmark of an Indian's doing. We have in our mythology the stories like Ramchandra, Prabhu Ramchandra, Lord Rama, as we all know, and the most revered of the figures we have in our mythology, apart from other, well, instructions on the moral science and the rules of governance which we take from him. Well, one of the instances is that when somebody had a doubt about, well, his strength and his precision, he was asked if he can, with one arrow, when pierce through 7 trees in a row, and he did it. We come down to, of course these are stories, but, well, having their own lessons. We come down to epic Mahabharata, and one of the events and instances shown there, means given out to us, is that there is one particular gentleman, Jayadratha. Well, he has a very strange kind of a, well, boon available with him, a promise available with him, that anybody who would be, well, causing his death and be the cause of having his head falling on the earth, that killer himself would be killed. That killer himself would die. His head would be broken into 100 pieces. That is how it was. And then in that war, when Jayadratha is to be killed, well, he beheaded, but, well, the precision of the beheading and the arrow is that that particular head, the severed head, well, goes and falls in the lap of his own father, who had given that boon. And as soon as that head falls down, none else but his father dies. Precision. Although it is, although this historical account is doubted by certain, although this particular this poetry account is doubted by certain, historians, and those doubts may be correct too, but then, well, the possibilities are indicated. We Indians know the story of Prithviraj Chauhan, one of the Shabdabhedi Varn, yes. So Prithviraj Chauhan, having been captured by Muhammad Ghori, well, having been, well, already his eyes are taken out, and that blind man is being instructed by his poet Chandra Bardai in these words, well, those words are Char Baas 24 Gaj Angul Asht Praman, Ete Pe Sultan Hai Mat Chuko Chauhan. That is, Mat Chuko Chauhan word comes from that. The story is that that blind man is given the idea about the position of the enemy sitting is Char Baas, that is the bamboo length, so it is nearly 100 feet. 24 Gaj, 24 yards height, 100 feet length, and Angul Asht, these are the 8 fingers, well, and Ete pe Sultan hai Mat Chuko Chauhan, well, there lies that, there is sitting that gentleman, well, don't miss the chance. And the person shoots, whether that was done or not, but then the precision, and ladies and gentlemen, that precision, whether in our mythology or in our stories, didn't stop there. Well, Balakot or surgical strike, India did it. Operation Sindoor is the latest example of that. Immediately hitting precisely where we were to hit. Precision is ingrained in us. We are capable of. And when a machine is there who would help us in being more precise, well, it's most welcome. There is no problem. So we are not afraid of, and we rather welcome. But yes, of course, with guardrails, and yes, governance has to be regulated. And as I would again say that challenges, as Madam Bharti ji was indicating, we have, apart from those precisions, we have the requirements of and the promises of justice, liberty, equality. And not only we are not stopping there, fraternity too, and dignity too. Well, these are the promises. And we maintain those promises. But yes, like in our promise of, basic promise of justice, if artificial intelligence replicates some bias somewhere, say for example a Dalit person is deprived of loan, or his KYC is being incorrect or not accepted, these are the challenges. We don't take them as challenge for one particular fault alone or one particular wrong alone. We take them as challenges to our promise to justice itself. And when we take them as challenges to our promise, our constitutional promises, we are bound to come out with solutions, and we would be coming out, we do come out with solutions. Bharat GPT kind of a thing is just the beginning. And I'm very sure we are going to we are going to integrate, and we are going to, take out an opportunity from any challenge and, we'll proceed ahead. Yes. Liberty, as was being indicated, liberty requires privacy by design. Privacy is a part of that. Well, equality would demand that the advantages of technology are not reserved for a few, blessed ones or privileged ones. Well, equality, our promise of equality will demand, and it demands, and we are working on it, that these advantages of technology reaches down up to the last person in the queue and the last person sitting here. And it's not that these are empty promises that India makes. India sitting at the top of UPI's work station, and its digital pay systems, digital movement systems. Well, yeah. Yeah, yeah. So, so this is where, so we keep on, I mean, integrating everything, and I've been given an indication of integrating, well, another of our honorable guests uh, who is amidst us. So we respect these all these requirements of integration, and for that matter, well, here integration in its practical application, we welcome Justice Mohan Pierce, sir, who could join a little late, and well, for that matter, well, I would conclude thanking you all being here, contributing your part in this relevant conference. And I'm very sure the discourses here are going to go a long way in remodeling, redefining our thoughts for a better tomorrow. Thank you so very much. Jai Hind.
I am here to seek an public apology for interrupting Honorable Justice Maheshwari ji, the chief guest, because of the compulsion of time, and so kindly excuse me, sir. I know it was not proper to interrupt Honorable chief guest, but I took the liberty, and thank you for accommodating my request. We have Honorable Justice Mohan Pieris from Sri Lanka, former Chief Justice of Sri Lanka and currently the permanent representative of Sri Lanka to United Nations. Sir, I am sorry that you could find difficult in connecting, maybe due to some technical error at our end. So we kept you waiting. I seek apology from you. Now we invite you. Normally after chief guest address, normally the other guests are not requested, but sometimes we have to go out of box, as you said. So taking clue from you, sir, I request Honorable Justice Mohan Piris, sir, we welcome you all, behalf of all the delegates. Please join us, and we shall be happy to listen to you for a short duration. Thank you.
Sir, I request you to unmute, please. Volume, please. Thank you, sir. Over to you. Honorable sir, we request you to increase the volume on your end as well. We are not able to hear you. He's responding to us. Are we audible to you, sir? He is unmuted, but we are not able to hear him. Request your patience for 5 minutes, please. So we still can't hear you, sir.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yes. Yes.
My speaker is on. The my mic is on. My microphone is on. The everything's on.
You're audible, sir. You're audible. Thank you. Over to you, sir. Sir, we can hear you. Thank you.
Hold on.
Hello, sir. Sir, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Can you hear me? Yes, I can
yes,
hear you now.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot. The namaskar. The at the risk of not being hauled up for contempt by Justice Maheshwari, may I apologize, Your Lordship, for the intervention. It was due to perhaps a technological glitch that I have not been able to join you much earlier. But let me tell you, I've been listening to you for the last perhaps 15 minutes with relish of the matters that you placed before the audience, and I did appreciate some of the very salient matters that you probably presented to the distinguished gathering that is there before you. So, whilst being apologetic for this very unorthodox intervention, I would say the permit me to re-echo perhaps some of the sentiments and some of the matters that you actually was so pleased to and so aptly and so with such clarity put to us this afternoon. My dear friends, first of all, with the indulgence of the judges of the court that are present there, the senior lawyers, the academics, the organizing committee, and perhaps very distinguished personalities who are with you on the dais and off the dais. So here I am. Permit me to just throw up a few ideas as a follow-up to what Justice Maheshwari so beautifully put as to what we are faced with today in this day and age, where there is a technological revolution, I would say, that has taken over the law, so to speak. And I think what Justice Maheshwari was saying was just as those arrows were kind of drawn with such precision, uh, I think we need to be guarded by the fact that we don't get shot down by those arrows and get decapitated in the process, because that's the last thing we would probably want the legal system to suffer from. So it is both a privilege and a moment of quiet introspection to address you and to throw up a few ideas at this important conference in Hyderabad, a city that in many ways perhaps symbolizes the very theme of our deliberations, the confluence of tradition, and technology. My dear friends and Justice Maheshwari, uh, you will agree with me that your legal system, anchored in constitutionalism, enriched by centuries perhaps of jurisprudence, now stands at the threshold of a technological reawakening, as you nicely put it, from e-courts to digital governance, from Aadhaar-linked service delivery, algorithmic regulation to the law is no longer merely responding to change. It is being reshaped by it. My dear friends, and yet, as we stand at this intersection, a question of enduring importance, Justice Maheshwari, presents itself to all of us. The question, what is it? Will technology remain a servant of the law, or will the law imperceptibly become subordinate to technology? Isn't that the question? So there was a time when legal education, whether in Colombo, Delhi, Hyderabad, or Oxford, was defined by a certain intellectual discipline, the close reading of cases, as Justice Maheshwari was pleased to observe, the careful construction of argument, the cultivation of forensic clarity. Now, that discipline, in my respectful view, remains indispensable. But today, the law student, we must all agree, confronts a world where legal questions are embedded in code, mediated through platforms, and often decided in milliseconds, as Justice Maheshwari was pleased to observe, by systems that do not disclose their reasoning. We are in a black box. So in India, one sees promising developments. Institutions such as the national law schools and the private universities are increasingly engaging with law and technology, legal informatics, and policy design. Yet, the challenge is deeper than curriculum reform as far as I see it. Legal education, I believe, must cultivate the capacity to interrogate technology, not merely to use it. A lawyer must be able to ask what assumptions underlie an algorithm, what biases are embedded in data, what values are being privileged and which are being obscured. And at the same time, we must guard against a subtle erosion. So, my lord, you will agree with me that law is not reducible to efficiency. It is not an engineering problem to be optimized. It is at its core a moral enterprise concerned with justice, dignity, and equitable ordering of society. So I think we can accept the fact that no digital platform can substitute that moral inquiry. So if we were to look at recasting the lawyer's role, the transformation of the legal profession is already underway, whether we like it or not. Quietly, but inexorably. Tasks that often occupied the early years, in the early years of a lawyer's life, document review, due diligence, and even elements of drafting are increasingly performed by machines with remarkable speed and accuracy. The lawyers of the future, and indeed of the present, is called upon to exercise judgment rather than mere knowledge, insight rather than information, wisdom rather than repetition. So in India, we are witnessing the emergence of a new professional identity. Legal technologists, data protection specialists, compliance architects, particularly in the wake of evolving regulatory frameworks such as the digital personal data protection regimes. Yet, alongside this evolution, there arises a concern that must not be understated. Technology promises access, but it may alone also produce stratification. So one can foresee a future, ladies and gentlemen, that many receive automated standardized legal solutions, while the few retain access to deeply bespoke legal counsel. If that divide hardens, the professional risks losing, I believe, losing its ethical center. So the great Indian jurist, if I remember right, Nani Palkiwala, once reminded us that the law is not a trade, but a profession, one that carries with it a duty to society. That duty must now extend into the technological domain. So India, in my submission or in my view, offers one of the most compelling laboratories for observing the intersection between law and technology. The Supreme Court of India has embraced digital transformation through the e-courts project, the virtual hearings, and AI-assisted tools such as the Supreme Court portal for assistance in court efficiency. So these are remarkable advancements. They have expanded access, reduced delays, and introduced a measure of procedural efficiency that once was thought unattainable. And yet, even as we acknowledge these gains, we must pause to reflect. I recall, if I may share, an anecdote familiar across jurisdictions. A senior judge, such as Justice Maheshwari, would have once remarked that the most important moment in a courtroom is not the pronouncement of a judgment, but the moment when a litigant feels that he or she has been heard. So, can a virtual interface, I ask, replicate that experience? Can, I ask, an algorithm, however sophisticated, capture the nuances that inform a bail decision or the moral weight that accompanies sentencing? These we have seen the cases of Puttaswamy, we have seen the case of Maneka Gandhi, where fairness, reasonableness, and arbitrariness had been addressed. These are not algorithmic values, they are human values. The danger, therefore, is not technology itself, but the uncritical reliance upon it. Opacity in algorithmic decision making risks, I believe, undermining transparency. Consistency may come at the cost of contextual justice. Efficiency may erode empathy. And if justice becomes incomprehensible to those subject to it, its legitimacy, I believe, is diminished. So before I conclude, permit me a brief personal reflection. No conversation on law and technology in this setting would be complete without acknowledging the vision and tireless commitment of Professor Bandari, the intellectual force behind this program. I have often thought that what distinguishes true scholarship is not merely the accumulation of knowledge, but the courage to anticipate the future. Professor Bandari has over the years exemplified that rare quality. At a time when many of us were still approaching technology with caution, if not hesitation, he was already imagining its integration into the very fabric of the legal systems through automation, through artificial intelligence, and through blockchain architectures. There is, if I may say so, something quietly instructive in that journey. For it reminds us that the relationship between law and technology need not be adversarial. It can be imaginative. It can be constructive, and in the right hands, it can be transformative. So may I conclude? I am reminded that every generation of lawyers believe itself to be at a moment of transition. All of us say that. But this moment feels different, I say, ladies and gentlemen. For the first time, I say, the tools we have created are not merely assisting us. They are beginning to shape the very structure of legal reasoning. The task before us, therefore, is not to resist technology, not to embrace it uncritically. It is to govern it, to ensure that technology enhances but not replaces a judgment, innovation advances but not erode justice, efficiency improves but does not dehumanize the legal process. The law, I believe, must remain what it has always aspired to be, a discipline of reason, a guardian of rights, and above all, a reflection of our collective conscience. In that endeavor, I'm sure Justice Maheshwari and the other legal luminaries will agree with me. The future will not be decided by machines. It will be decided by lawyers, judges, and scholars, and by the values they choose to uphold. May I leave you with this thought. In an age of artificial intelligence, the greatest challenge is not to make machines think like humans, but to ensure that humans do not begin to think like machines. I thank you. Namaskar.
Honorable Sir, Honorable Justice Mohan Piyari Sir, I am deeply moved by the kind words and encouraging words you have said about me. I wonder whether I deserve it or not. Your support and your blessings are always with me and with the Galter. I recollect when we conducted a conference in Belagavi, you were in States, and at 2 a.m., as per your time, you delivered the keynote address for 1 hour. I cannot forget that moment. You came to our Hyderabad 2018 conference, which was basically on blockchain and digital assets. You were interested, and we were very much interested to have you with us. But because of certain commitments, your commitments at Colombo, you could not make it possible. But today, after listening to you, we feel satisfied and gratified. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Justice. A summit of this stature must leave legacy, and ATLEG-2026 does exactly that. It is now my privilege to invite Dr. Aparajita Bhatt for the adoption of ATLEG-2026 Hyderabad Declaration. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Priyanka. Namaskar, honorable dignitaries on the dais, distinguished guests, and respected Galtarians. It is my absolute honor to be able to read and adopt collectively with each one of you this Hyderabad Declaration. We, the delegates of the Galter Mega Summit ATLEG, convened at Hyderabad, comprising honorable judiciary, policymakers, technologists, academicians, practitioners, civil society representatives, and industry leaders, gathered in Hyderabad from 3rd to 5th April 2026 to hold, conduct, and participate in Galter Mega Summit ATLEG 2026, and together recognize the need to collectively work towards shaping and contributing to the advanced technologies, law, and governance. Guided by the constitutional values of rule of law, justice, liberty, equality, fraternity, and international cooperation to meet the increasing challenges of advanced technologies, deep tech ecosystem that is impacting humanity at large, we resolve and adopt this Hyderabad India Declaration ATLEG 2026 as a shared commitment towards a secure, inclusive, and promising digital future. At ATLEG Hyderabad 2026, we recognize and acknowledge the following fundamental principles, policy commitments, and the way forward towards the adoption of this advanced technologies. The fundamental principles include primacy of fundamental rights. Digital governance framework must uphold the right to privacy, freedom of expression, and due process as foundational and non-negotiable. Rule of law in the digital realm. All digital policies and surveillance measures at our institutions must be grounded in transparent legal frameworks. Accountability and transparency. We must be accountable for our actions in the digital ecosystem, including algorithmic decision-making and content moderation. The black box syndrome should not hamper constitutional values and human dignity. Policy commitments which we adopt during this declaration. Application of technology for the promotion of human rights and not for the derogation of human rights. Application of technology for safeguarding the environment so that the world, especially the developing and underdeveloped countries, do not become victims of adverse impact of technology. Adoption of technology for the welfare of mankind and not just for commercial benefit. to develop and strengthen technological capabilities for effectively dealing with the risks such as cybercrimes, deepfakes, etc. Cybersecurity framework must be emboldened to protect vulnerable people from risk and threats of technology. We must promote digital literacy and informed participation in the digital ecosystem to the best of our capabilities and efficiency. Technology must protect vulnerable groups from digital harms, including discrimination, exclusion, and surveillance abuse. Efforts must be made to bridge the digital divide by ensuring affordable and equitable access to digital technologies. Extend cooperation to each other in understanding and deploying technology for leveraging its benefits. Institutionalize consultation processes involving judiciary, civil society, academia, industry, and technical communities, as well as engage in multi-stakeholder discussion for better adoption of technology. And lastly, promote international collaboration on digital governance standards while preserving domestic constitutional values, and seek and provide cooperation amongst other countries in terms of our capacity building initiatives. And finally, the way forward, we commit to translating the principles of this declaration into actionable policies, institutional reforms, and collaborative initiatives. We call upon all participants, all Galtarians, to work collectively towards a promising digital future. Adopted in Hyderabad, India, this declaration reflects a shared vision that digital transformation must serve humanity, strengthen democracy, and uphold constitutional values in an interconnected
for our distinguished guest, Dr. Honorable Justice Dinesh Maheshwari sir and Honorable Justice Nanda madam. This is all the way from Nepal to you, sir. Photo, sir. Photo. Sir, Ram sir, if you can hold it. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you. We now move to a significant moment. The signing of a MOU between Galter and a leading group of institution in Hyderabad, that is MSS Law College. I request the Director of MSS Law College, Dr. Vandana, and Professor Dr. M.K. Bhandari, sir, for the MOU signing and the exchange. I also request the staff of MSS Law College to come on the dais. I request the participants to stay. We are coming to the end of the session. Please, I request you to kindly stay.
Just for the information of the audience, we have this is 31st MOU. We have with SRA, we have HPNLU, we have BR Ambedkar, and many other institutions, EST Group, USA, SEI, Dr. Ingrid, Alejandro Mendajuno, Satoshi School, many, I may miss out the name, but we have MOU with 31 institutions. This is 31st. So they are our powerhouse. Thank you, all those who have joined us.
Thank you, MSS Law College team and Bandari sir. Request the dignitaries to be seated, please, for 5 more minutes. Every great summit is best described by those who lived it. So we now invite few of our participants to share their impressions of ATLEG. But in the interest of time, I request you to speak for only 1 minute maximum and give your impressions about the summit. After this is Madam's poem. We end with a good note from your poem, ma'am. So I would now like to request Group Captain Piana Naidu. Sir, if you can give your impression just in a minute. Sir, you can come on the dais, please.
Thank you very much. Respects to the dignitaries on the dais and off the dais. Vidya Danena Vardhate is what Professor Bandari has spoken once to me, and it was about almost an year ago that he spoke of this ATLEG being conceived. I stand here among the litany of students of Professor Bandari as a dwarf, because I also passed out of the same college where he was teaching in Jodhpur. I did my law in JNV University Law School. Coming to the 3-day conference that we have had, the Global Summit, a single man army, what it can achieve is what we have seen in curating such a wonderful 3-day program. It is not only about AI, but also about all new and emerging technologies that were discussed. And law, which was intertwined in all these technologies, have been very, very critically analyzed. Many powerful speakers from the dais and many more very informed speakers from amongst the audience. It was such a learning. I cannot express what we have got, sir. Thank you very much for organizing this event. May you host such events every year so that the rapidity with which the technology is engulfing us, we will be hopefully able to understand the legal element of those technologies to some extent, if not full extent. With that, I thank one and all. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Professor Bandari.
Thank you, Group Captain Naidu, sir. I now request Professor Dr. Bharti from NLU to give her impression for a minute only, please.
My greetings to distinguished guests on the dais, Honorable Justice Dinesh Maheshwari ji and ma'am, and to of the dais, Professor Jaswal sir and Mr. ma'am. It was just an outstanding success, this particular conference, across the 3 days. It has culminated across so many sessions, and I'm a relatively new Galtarian, and I think I've immensely learned, I have learned so much from the wide-ranging themes. And just a few words for Professor Bhandari sir, whose energy that he has brought to this conclave, the way he has synergized the collective, the kind of thought and
the kind of deliberations in depth and very pertinent ones. It is a memorable stay that has been here. And I really wish that Galter continues its lead on this very immensely significant subject of law and technology. There have been many takeaways for academia, for industry, for the policy makers. And one of them, as Justice Mohan Perez said, that we cannot really keep ourselves away from it. We have to be aligned with it, but of course with caution that the human element remains all pervasive. And of course the global engagement and the interdisciplinary nature of this subject is extremely pertinent to note. So all the best wishes for a future which is very profound, very prolific, and it is in every way enriching for Galter and for the subject of law and technology. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, ma'am. I request lastly Dr. Sindhu Bhaskar sir from USA to do just for a minute the impression about the ATLEG summit. Yes, we have heard you through the sessions, but just an impression about this event, sir.
Distinguished guests and Honorable Justice Dinesh Maheshwari ji and respected ma'am and my friend Josina and Professor Bhandari, so and all the dignitaries who are still here to attend the session, valedictory session, and it has been such a magnificent event, and fortunately this is the first time, and unfortunately this is the first time, and fortunately that I did attend it, and I could see the energy level with all the Galterians and how they have like invaded all the sessions, and they have tried to be very, very vocal about the topics, subjects, and interrelability to different, say, streams of knowledge, and how legal system in India and globally, how it should interact with the, I should say, jumping technology, and which is changing form and vision every day, and how we have to cope with that. And lastly, the energy level, vigor, and the interest with which Professor Bhandari has conducted this event with all the minute details at its place. It's hats off to you, sir, and I wish you many more years of success like this, and I will always try to be part of this event so that I can share all your vibrant energies with me so that I can also become an example like you in days to come. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much for all the participants for sharing your lovely words for Galter and the ATLEG.
This one is for our gracious ladies. Our friend Jasraj Shishibhan, India's noted environmental expert and animal activist. Perhaps he has got the first, what you call, Mahavir Foundation and Camel Sanctuary, where he saves camels. गायों के लिए तो सभी करते हैं, काउस के लिए तो बहुत है, पर कैमल के लिए बहुत रेयर सुनने को मिलेगी आप. He has and his friend has brought some har, pearls, Hyderabadi pearls har for all the ladies here. Because of paucity of time, I am requesting him to give one to Justice Madam, and then I will give you. So, because otherwise it will take time in giving. So, one to Madam, please you give. And thank you, sir. He has also. No, it is with me. He has given me. I will give it right now after this session. So, because just for the sake of time, because I know many people.
Actually, I think I have been overrated, overestimated, because all these kind words, I don't know whether I deserve it or not, but certainly it has increased my responsibilities many more times. Thank you for all, and whatever success this summit has acquired, it is not because of me. Let me tell it very openly, honestly. It is because of our all Galtarians' efforts. I won't like to name anybody, otherwise there will be a discrimination, and time is also short. Our sponsors like Sindhu Bhaskar ji, Jain Group of Institution, Bangalore, Jasraj ji, many more, NLU Delhi, NL Jindal Global University, and many more. It is their financial support, academic support, our international friends, and our strong team, which makes this summit successful. I am just one among them. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We have amongst us Dr. Nishtha Jaswal ma'am, VC, Vice Chancellor of B.R. Ambedkar Law College, Jaipur, who has penned down a very lovely, heartfelt poem for all of us. She will be reciting the poem that she has written for all of us. Thank you. Over to you, ma'am. Yeah, I told her.
Honorable Mr. Justice Dinesh Mishra, Honorable Madam Dinesh Maheshwari, Honorable Madam Justice Nanda. I feel in summits, minds must think and speak, but my poet heart is not ready to crush my feelings. So I just present my poem on AI. Data neither reveals nor dries the tears. Digital semblance of human doesn't know any fears. Only a button pressed did the survey. Digital face and data facts no heart to convey. Ignorance of algorithm and who will peep? My habits, expectations, silent pain deep. Power generated to predict the numbers, not capable to know the human family members. Mind and heart wrote rules through hands of conscience and law with the magic wands. Digital reasoning singing in silence zones, unseen, unfelt planning data declared stones. Dignity is not a numerical line of data points in grand design. Dignity lives in choice, in voice, in will. In sacred rights, no code should kill. No face faked or swapped with unreal. No soul reduced to algorithm seal. Digital governance be with mindful grace. Let empathy have equal place. Let ethics hold the hand that writes. Let justice shape these digital rights. In every screen, in each byte ride, let human dignity be free from digital divide. When minds untamed, machines grow strong. Let human conscience decide right or wrong. And finally, my prayer to God. Oh God, may sustainable user rule AI, not AI rule. Oh God, may sustainable user rule AI, not AI rule. Let me be the master. Let me be the master and not technology. Let it be a tool. Thank you, and God bless and show us the path of wisdom, all the Galtarians. Please.
Just quickly 2 words of my review. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, as we conclude ATLEG-26, I am excited to say we have navigated the future of tech governance like a autopilot on a cruise control. I'm very happy to share the highlights. AI, law and ethics took center stage. Robust frameworks and global collabs discussed innovation met responsibility. Thanks to the speakers, delegates, and Hyderabad for making it a smooth ride. ADLEC 27, buckle up. I rate this as a 5-star program. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. No ceremony is complete without an expression of gratitude. I now request our IFS Gansham sir to please deliver the vote of thanks.
Distinguished and eminent people on the dais, and equally distinguished gentlemen and ladies from the audience. All good things must come to an end. So the mega summit of advanced technology, ethics, law, and summit is also ending. Now, I have the responsibility of giving you the vote of thanks. A lot of people have worked on this summit for many months to reach this level. So I'm going to start by thanking the people, distinguished people who came for the inaugural session. Honorable Justice Sandeep Mehta, who was the chief guest, sitting judge of the Supreme Court. Honorable Justice M.R. Shah, former Justice Supreme Court of India. Honorable Justice A.K. Sikri, who came online, former Justice Supreme Court of India. Padma Shri Professor Upendra Bakshi, who is often referred to as teacher of teachers, who came online. And Mr. Tony Maroni, we are going to call him Shri Tony Maroni, now that he is in India, so the keynote speaker from Ireland. And also an interesting speech by Justice Govindraj of Karnataka High Court, who was in the inaugural. And this is how the session began. Now it ended with equally eminent people. Who are the people that concluded the valedictory address? Honorable Justice Dinesh Maheshwari, who is with us. Chairperson, Law Commission of India, who is the chief guest. Honorable Justice Surepalli Nanda from the Telangana High Court. We must have somebody from home, so she is with us. Honorable Justice Mohan Perez, who spoke online to us, former Chief Justice of India, and he is one of those, Sri Lanka, and he is one of those who has transported himself from judiciary to diplomacy. So he was permanent representative of Sri Lanka to the United Nations. That's interesting. Then we have Madam Vijaya Bharati Sayani. Then we have Dr. Josina Rodriguez, the energetic speaker, keynote speaker. And this was the valedictory. Now, there are a lot of people between inaugural and the valedictory who spoke online. We must thank them. Who spoke in person. We must thank them. I thank myself also because I spoke 10 minutes. So, and then there are people who are working behind the scene, a lot of Galterians. And I was told that don't take any names because there will be many who will be disappointed if their names are not taken. So it doesn't matter. I'll still take the name of Priyanka Vaidyanath and Pushpendra Dikshit because they put in a lot of effort to make what it is. And finally, I must also tell you, when Honorable Justice Maheshwariji was talking about the flight landing in Jodhpur, I was also reminded of another story of a flight. People were sitting on the aircraft. It was after artificial intelligence had taken over quite a bit of human activity. So, gentlemen, the airport was ready, the airplane was ready, passengers are all seated. The voice comes from the cockpit. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Captain So-and-so. I am going to fly a distance of 20,000 nautical miles in a matter of 8 hours. And we will fly at an altitude of 30,000 feet. And we will take you safe to your final destination. Just for your information, and I'm working from home. That was that. And finally, I must also say, why is such a big hurry on artificial intelligence? What is the problem? Why are we so desperate? Why are we not in a position to match the speed of technology that is going on so fast? The reason is this. I'll tell you why. First, it took 3.5 years for Netflix to reach 1 million users. And it took 2.5 years to reach 1 million users for Airbnb. Uber took 2 years to become 1 million users. These are all before, almost 10 years before AI. Then you have YouTube. 18 months it has reached 1 billion. Now I don't know, God knows how many people are watching. Facebook, 10 months. Instagram, 5 months. Threads, barely an hour. Less than 1 hour, 1 million people had started using. This is how technology is growing. We have to keep pace with it. And why is this the only problem? How come this speed has become so fast? The reason is this. In the year 2000, 361 million people used internet. That's about 25 years ago. Today, 6 billion people use internet. That is 75% of the population of the world. 3 out of 4 human beings are using the internet. That's how the speed of spread of technology, that's how it goes. While the people were growing, let me tell you one last thing. In 2004, when the statistics is available, 2000 statistics is not available. In 2004, there were 935 million internet-enabled devices. Your phone, your laptop, your computer at home, desktop, they all were internet-enabled devices. There were 361 million, sorry, there were about 935 million in 2004. Today, there are 30 billion internet-enabled devices. So for every human being, there are 4 or 5 internet-enabled devices. So this is the reason why events like this become important. So the idea must also be thanked. And finally, the last word, the brain, the brawn, and the turbojet booster of this event was Professor Bhandari. I have to thank him. Whether he likes it or not, I have to thank him. With that, we conclude this session. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. As we conclude, I request all of you to rise for national song, please.
Shama